I got the windows rolled down, got the radio up, and I'm heading out of Vegas tonight. And it's a 1:30 on a 4-day run, and the desert is a welcome sight. I can see you there in that dress you wear, and it's keeping my foot on the gas.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers found sometime last week has been inspected in Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection.
The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the K-Ghost Radio Network and its website are those of the host, guests, and participants, and they are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcast, management, or advertisers of the network. The show is found under LJA Broadcasting Network. UFO Talk Radio can, but does not necessarily promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and they are not intended to treat or diagnose and/or claim to cure any disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice. All music is purchased and owned by LJA Broadcasting.
Some fun right along with us, broadcasting live deep from the desert of Nevada. Welcome to the Glenn Leary Show. Now, broadcasting live from deep in the desert of Nevada, K-Ghost Radio presents UFOTalkRadio.com with your host, Larry Glenn Anderson, Glenn Larry.
And that is I, everybody. Welcome to all my friends, to the station and to the channel, friends and family from the high desert in great America, Southwest, broadcasting deep live in the desert of Nevada. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, and whatever time zone that you're in. I know the guys over there in Pennsylvania are listening, thank God, yes. And we do thank you for listening. I want to thank all of my affiliates out there and all the small broadcasters, microwave, and also the shortwave guys out there. Yeah, ham operators, 73s to all you guys. And again, KPFF FM, Pump, Nevada. Let's hello you guys out there. KBHR 57 AM, Sitka, Alaska. Yes, good people. Thank you for carrying our show. And for all the listeners all over the world, I do thank you. Yes. Have you had a good week and a half? Since I've heard from all you folks, I've been out of town. Yes, I was in Pennsylvania, having a great time. And I'll tell you, I really did have a great time. I'm going to tell you about that tonight. Yes. And there are a lot of updates on the UFOs, of course, all over the United States. They're popping up and people are seeing more of them. And I guess Handy's supposed to have something on his station coming up this next month. It's going to be a real big announcement. So you want to prepare for that also. We will be back right after this. And again, I thank you for listening. This is Glenn Larry.
Violence, theft, drugs, graffiti. It's all part of joining a gang. In times like these, we need to protect our children and our community from gangs. Gangs often prey on unsupervised teens with low self-esteem, who perform poorly in school, who seek a sense of belonging, or are simply bored. Joining a gang often involves violent hazing rituals. Once in a gang, members can become alienated from their families, school, and friends. Drugs, guns, and malicious activity are common elements in gangs. Trying to leave a gang can be a difficult and dangerous process. The best way to get out of a gang is never to join one. Protect kids from being recruited by a gang. Know who they're hanging out with. Involve kids in after-school activities and provide positive role models. Help reduce gang activities in your community by working with local law enforcement and school systems. Don't let a kid you know get involved with gangs. Visit ncpc.org to learn more or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message.
Every day, people are afraid to report violent crimes. In times like these, choosing to report a crime or helping the police can be a difficult decision. A no-snitching culture has sprung up in our communities, making it unpopular and sometimes even dangerous to report a crime. Do the right thing by calling 911 or your local crime tip line. If you're the victim of a crime, report it. If you know about a crime, report it. To learn more about how to do the right thing, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Yes, you must do that. I have to do the show tonight, pushing towards EMS. Yeah, our fire guys out there, all the fire departments out there, all over the United States, we do thank you. And the EMTs, of course, all of our guys that also, I got to tell you what happened. Yes, I won't let this forget. I won't forget this whole thing because it was such an exciting week. I was in, Avondale, Pennsylvania, and went to see a real dear friend of mine and his family, Chief Hall, and all the friends out there that I've met in the future and I've just met now, and I've made some new friends and from the past. I'll tell you, I was so impressed with that fire department, Avondale Fire Company. Very, very impressed. Professional, all professional. A lot of volunteers, all professional and well trained. I first got there. I left the Baltimore airport and had flown in. It was late, time changed a whole bit. And we went and got some sandwiches and went to his house where I was staying. And then we got a call. It was my first call out there, and it was exciting. These guys are so good, man. We responded there, and it was a car on fire, and turned out to be an arson, and then an investigation situation. And I'll tell you, those guys knew what they were doing when they put that car out, and they responded very well. And then we had another, before I left, we had another call that was apparently somebody had hit a horse on the freeway. No, it wasn't a horse. What was it? We hit something, or they hit something. I was like freaked out, of course. We're going down the road. People aren't listening to the sirens. They're not listening to anything. It was a deer, by the way. Was not listening to anything. I mean, the sirens were going and going, and people were not reacting, like pulling over. You got to pull over, folks, when you hear sirens and you see lights. You think? Gosh. And I was a little upset with that. Very excited, by the way, responding to these calls and the command center with the chief. And I'm telling you, it was quite an experience. But you see, folks don't realize if you got your stereo up and you're listening, look around you, look in that mirror. Maybe, if you get earplugs in, shame on you, because you need to hear what's going on around you. At least sirens. If you couldn't have heard those sirens, I'm telling you. So eventually, of course, we went around all the stuff, all this traffic and what have you. And we responded to the call. But it was quite interesting how people do not pay attention. I'm going to say hello to some folks out there. Tom and Bill. Bill, what a great guy. And Tom. I'll tell you, we had a lot of fun. I'll tell you about that. John and Mike, Stephen, of course, and Harvey Hall, and all the other folks I met down there at the department. I left you out. I'm sorry. I did not want to not do that, leave you out, of course. And then, anyway, it was quite an interesting flight. We're all masked up, of course, these little seats, and gosh, to and from was quite interesting. So it was so nice to get off that plane. And but the beautiful, beautiful scenery and the grass and this time of year and Avondale, around that area. It's just so beautiful. Pennsylvania, it's incredible. And the folks are so nice too, have good attitudes. I got to go to Ocean City and to the beach. That was a lot of fun and experience a lot of different places out there. There was a fire bar out there that was fun to go to. But yeah, it's so important that you folks out there get involved. Maybe you want to go into the fire department or become a reserve or a firefighter or what have you, something that you do for the community, that volunteering wise. And I know they're always looking for volunteers. And I think that would be a great place to volunteer for, even in your own area, your own fire departments will have you volunteer. And I'm telling you, these guys are so professional. I mean, I have a small department here, and I served for 5 years. And you could put our little fire department in the corner. It's how big their fire department was. And the chief's got a lot of responsibilities and guys that help him and their board and all that stuff. But again, I want to thank Chief. I want to thank everybody out there for making my time so much fun. And I do like fire, and I do like the fire departments. And I should have just taken that career, just gone that route instead of law enforcement, what have you. But I did fire here. Quite different things go on, different ways of doing things in that Pennsylvania from Nevada, different laws, different all sorts of weird things that they do differently, but they have it together. I really do, and everybody has their job type of thing. So anyway, thank you so very much, Avondale Fire Department, Fire Company. We love you, and we thank you for listening to, of course, hopefully you are listening on the Glenn Larry Show. Thank you so much. Well, UFOs have been seen. I have a couple messages here that over Nashville, they saw a big orb. Yes. And it lasted for about 45 minutes and was seen by several people. If you go to MUFON, you know what MUFON is. This is the reporting center for the UFOs, what have you. They have a list of many sightings that have been seen recently within the week or second week. It has a map where all these sightings are being seen and tells you a little bit what has been seen and who reported it. And so, I mean, it's quite an operation. And if you want to join MUFON, it's right there. Look it up on the internet there, to the address, and they got the application there in a whole bit. So if you would like to do that, do so, because that really supports a great group. It's done a lot of study through the years on the UFOs. And of course, you know, the Pentagon has opened more or less their mouths to tell you that there is really UFOs. Well, I had no doubt about that for many, many, many years. We're going to open lines up here. In fact, I said on the webpage to be 7:45, but we're going to open it up now. So if you want to call in with your UFO story, or maybe your cool story with EMS or with a fire crew that you know that you had a great experience with, you know, if we didn't have firemen, we'd have nothing. I mean, these guys put out their lives. They're out there fighting these fires, and especially these volunteers. My God. Oh, we just love you, man. We love you guys. We really do. So we'll give this number out. And if you want to call, fine. If not, just sit back and listen to the show. But I hope that we'll have some calls on either or. Here's the number.
To call UFO Talk Radio, the Glenn Larry Show, deep in the dark desert of Nevada, call 702-874-1114. North of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. West of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And south of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And east of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. First-time callers, call 702-874-1114. And if you just want to talk to the Glenn Larry Show, call 702-874-1114.
And we will take those calls in a heartbeat, of course. Yeah, it is warm in Nevada. Got up to 80, 88 day in the 90s. But I'm telling you, the studio is warm because of all this stuff going on. And if I turn on the air conditioning, I'll be afraid you couldn't hear me over the microphone because it does have a lot of noise, and it's not competing with that and trying to do everything else. I guess we just won't do that right now. So anyway, so going on about the UFOs, Hannity is supposed to be having some real special show coming up this next month, apparently. So they're kind of letting people know about that. And what was your first experience with UFOs? Have you ever seen one? Was it just a light in the sky, or was it a craft? Was it a disc? Was it cigar shaped? Was it tubular? Was it square? Some have seen boxes floating in the air, huge boxes, and like a cube. And some have seen, triangles. Yeah. And that's been reported, a lot of those lately. But I think that might be ours, sincerely. But there is a triangle that was seen that would open, 5 or 6 baseball fields in the air. And I don't think that's ours. And the Tic Tac, that's not ours. So whose is it? It's not Russia's. Well, I don't have that. Does China? I don't think so. A lot going on in space. A lot of other countries getting involved to be in space. Our beautiful space program going on. What is really going on? Is it more? Has it been going on for years without us knowing about it? And now we know more about it because the new space agency we have. Yeah, a lot of things to think about on that end. But otherwise, have you seen one? I have. I've seen several of them. I think once you see one, you'll be able to see others. I don't know what it is. I think it's you just got to be open to it, apparently. And still, governments are trying to hush people up when they do see something, especially over in the England area and Australia. There's been several things on YouTube, of course, that some people have testified what they saw and told their story and were told to be quiet and didn't come out for many, many years. And finally, they said they're just going to do it. Especially there's been a lot of folks on their deathbeds that have told stories of their experiences. Do you have a story? The one I saw, I was at the age of young boy at the time, and I looked out the window at night, about 3 a.m, and I saw this UFO. Now, it was kind of a sound I heard. To this day, I can't really put the type of sound that it was, but it was an odd sound, not loud, but just a certain sound. And I looked out the window, and there it was, man. And I woke my sister up. She saw it also. And I said, "Carol, do you see what's out there?" She said, "Oh, what is that?" I'm like, "Oh." And it floated in the air, kind of like off the street, high in the sky, moved left to right, and then it left, stopped, and then shot away, just disappeared, that fast. The second one I saw was a cylinder type, like an airplane without wings, little windows. And I was driving around the mountains, and I was heading to work. This is in Santa Barbara area, and San Marcos Pass, by the way. And you'd go around and you see the sky, and then it's mountain and sky, and then there's on the road you go. I saw the cylinder sitting just still in the air, like it just stopped. And then it moved, and then it went into the mountain. So I'm driving around the mountain area to find out where this thing went to. And of course, I saw nothing, no dust, no smoke or anything. And I called the airport and asked if they seen anything on their radar or whatever. Of course, they would never tell you anyway, but I told them what I saw. Of course, okay, thanks, click. But and then I think that's the second one. The third one I saw was a disc, and that was over Santa Barbara. It was actually in the afternoon, and was seen by other people. The fourth one was at Indian Springs, at a security agency at the day, and it was like 4 a.m, and the sky was full of beautiful stars, like rocks. And I looked up, I go, "This is beautiful." And I kind of looked up and kept watching admiring the sky, and I noticed that this group of stars that were like rocks glowing and moving very slowly by themselves. It was like a cutout in the sky. If you just looked up, you would notice it until you looked and really watched it. And then I called someone up the clubhouse to come on down and to see what I'm seeing. So, "What do you see in the sky?" "Stars." "Well, look harder." I go, "Oh my God, yeah, they're moving." I go, now get a witness all the time. Get a witness when and how, if you can take a picture. And a lot of times the pictures don't come out. It probably just look like a bunch of stars in the sky. If you could film it, I guess that would be maybe a way to do that. But now everybody has these cameras, and they have the recording devices on the camera, so we're getting some really good stuff now. Before it was kind of iffy, but there's more sightings every day. They are putting this stuff on YouTube and Facebook, the media, and they're seeing more and more. So if you have a story about UFOs, we'll get you on. We do have a caller. Hello, caller. You are live on the air. This is Glenn Larry. And who am I speaking to, and where are you from? Caller, do you hear me?
Yes, Larry. This is Ulysses from Avondale.
Well, fantastic. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good. Everybody out there, the audience, let you know this gentleman is with the fire department in Avondale, and you are fire police, correct?
Firefighter, the young man that gave you the T-shirt.
Yes, that's right, firefighter. And I must say, I had a great time down there with you guys. And geez, you guys are so professional. I'll tell you. I'm wearing the T-shirt right now, by the way. You see that?
Yeah, I see that. I also have Joey on the line.
Okay, Joey, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, fantastic, man. What experience I have with you guys. You guys you're so professional, great job, and I'm telling you, you guys have got it together, and quite a fire company you have. My gosh, your station is huge.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It looks big, but it's really small once you get used to it.
You could put our fire department in the corner like a doghouse. Is how small ours would look to yours, of course. You know.
Right.
So you guys had a fire call today?
Yeah, we had a little brush fire.
Oh, wow. And how would that start? By a car or something, or?
No, that actually started. It was actually an accident. The neighbor put some ashes in a small burn pile, and it caught the bamboo on fire.
Got you. Would you tell my audience, please, and a lot of folks over in the area listen to me in your part of the country, what does it take to become a firefighter volunteer at your department?
Do you want to go first, Joey?
Well, since you're the membership secretary, I think you would handle this question perfectly.
Yeah, I can. If you want me to be honest, I'm the first generation in my family to be a first responder. So really, if you really like helping people, this is the field for you. So that's why I actually joined firefighting. I actually want to be a police officer, so I figured this was the first step to take in order to join the public safety field.
That's great. So you guys do the training like everybody else. You go to special academy or whatever it is, and how many hours do you think that takes for someone to do that, to become fire one or two?
So I actually just completed my fire certification for interior firefighter. Joey's currently in it.
Right.
And he's actually going full-time, which is a month. I went to kind of full-time class as well, but it was for an extended period of time, lower hours. So mine took approximately since August, and now August of last year, and now we're in May.
Mm-hmm. Now,
so a few months.
Got you. And I have taken some pictures that I don't have up right now on the internet, but can you tell the folks out there how many engines you have and what you have as for equipment?
Sure. So we currently have for the department, we have 2 fire suppression engines. That's our 2 primary pieces out to anything that has to do with fires.
Mm-hmm.
We have a rescue engine, which is capable of performing rescues along with fire suppression. And then we have a tanker, which is basically a big truck with water. And then we also have a squad, which is a utility pickup to haul manpower to the scene. We also have a traffic unit, as it's stated in the name. It does traffic control. And then we have 2 BLS ambulances, which do basic life support with certified EMTs.
Great, my gosh. How many guys and gals do you have there that are firefighters in your department?
We currently have at least 20, 25 active firefighters and 10 active fire police officers.
That's great. And the fire police officers, they do traffic and whatever, just like
Right.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! And I was so impressed to see the how the hoses were stored and how everything was all put away real nice and cleaned up. And I mean, you guys take care of your equipment. I mean, it's pretty cool. And
Yep, that's correct.
and seeing those engines and on the capacity of water it can put out with all the different hoses and what they do, that was very impressive. Also, so
Right. I believe you had your first call when you arrived at that night.
I did, and that was quite an experience. I'll tell you, you guys are very professional, and
Right.
and hearing the commercial chief in the command center talking to you guys, and that's you guys got together. I'll tell you for sure. And how would one become a firefighter? Is there a number that we can give somebody? Would you give out the number
As far as how to
for volunteering?
join.
You had to come out and join and get to know you guys, and
Right. So obviously, if you're interested in the public safety field, I would recommend to go to your local volunteer fire department and kind of appear to their house. I'm sure you'll get to meet the membership secretary if the department has one, and they'll go through the process with you. Some departments may vary through the process,
right?
but it's usually approximately 2 months before you can get in. But obviously, like I said, if you're interested in public safety, this would be the perfect agency department to join.
Well, I think so too. Now, let's say out there in your area, which I know there's folks listening out there. What is your number that we can give them the call and make an appointment to go see somebody? Do you have a number there? I have one here.
I do.
Okay, shoot.
Give me 1 second to pull it up.
Does this sound right? I think yeah, right. Is it 610-268-2486? Would that be it?
Yeah, that's correct. If you live in Chester County, in southwest Chester County, and close to the Avondale Fire Company, you can actually reach me at 610-268-2486, extension 209.
Good.
And now direct you to me as the membership secretary.
Great, man, I tell you. So this is gonna be your career, correct? This is what you want to do.
To start off, yes. Probably going to try to get a part-time career firefighter job. I'm currently looking as I'm going through college, and then I'll maybe become a trooper or a police officer.
Great, good deal. I love it. And I encourage anybody that wants to become a firefighter or a fireman or law enforcement this. And this is the whole thing: is volunteering, learn, and then become a regular. I mean, go through the back door like this, and like the reserves do also. It's a good one of training and hands-on, and you get to know everybody, right?
Right. Yep. And obviously, if you volunteer, your volunteer department or combined department, meaning career and volunteer, will actually pay for your training. So when you go apply to a job in public safety, they'll actually look at that and be like, hey, this person has some experience, and you'll stand out from the others who might not.
Yeah, we'll push you farther ahead, I'm sure. Well, you guys, I want to thank you for calling in, and I sure had a great time with everybody. And I met Bill, nice guy, and of course the other guy, Tom, and you two, of course. And it was very nice. You guys are very polite and nice to me, and I really enjoyed your company, to tell you the truth, talking about law enforcement. You and I back in the time was there.
Yep.
But
we
again,
enjoyed your company as well.
Thank you kindly. And I just want to thank you both for calling, and we'll be sending you something out there in the mail for both of you guys for calling in. A coffee cup.
Thank you for shouting us out as a department as a whole. We appreciate it.
You guys are great guys. And again, I thank you for calling. All right, guys?
Yep.
Be well.
good rest of your evening.
Thank you. Be well and be safe. And may St. Michael be with you. All right?
Yep.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. How about that, huh? Oh, yes. They're listening. That's great. No, these gentlemen were just very kind and very professional, and we had nice long talks. Things are different than out here than are there, of course. So that was fun. Gosh, thank you for calling me. And Avondale Fire Company, Fire Station 23. Yes, thank you so very much. And I got some nice shirts and a hat, as you can see. Compliments of those guys and the chief. Yes. So become a firefighter. Yeah, volunteer, get involved. Anything you do for your community is very, very important. So, but yeah, we're going to be back. I have to do this commercial, of course, right after this. Thank you so much.
Mom, you wanted to talk to me?
The calendar hypnosis into thumbtack cushion, completely tailwind. And sewing elephants plant before cartoon paper cups. So numbers renovate.
If your teenager is trying drugs or alcohol, would you know the right words to use?
Afterward, lightly fish scale. Doorbell.
Find out what to say at drugfree.org. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America.
Yes, we are back. I'd like to thank also Sheldon Battery out there, the local folks here in Las Vegas area. And if you want to know about batteries, there, I got it right back. Sorry. If you want to know about batteries and all sorts of stuff about how to store batteries, and I have gone through the battery thing, you wouldn't believe, ask for Jeff at Sheldon Battery at 702-362-8180. Yes. And Ray's Honey, of course. You see that on my web pages. Ray's Honey. It's a local honey, Arizona and Nevada. And if you have allergies, it sure does help. It's helped me, of course. Now, when I was back in Pennsylvania, the weather was pretty cool. A couple of rainy days, and it lifted. The sun came out, but the air was so fresh. And yes, I really love that town of Avondale, tell you the truth. Yeah. But my guys that called in, they're going to send out a coffee cup for their call in. We do appreciate that. And if you want to talk about UFOs tonight or anything, you want to talk, open lines. I do this since I'm back. Next week, we're going to have a couple guests on, and it's a surprise for you, by the way. You might be really surprised when you find out. I might be surprised. No, just kidding you. No, I got a couple folks be on this next week. Be fun. About Bigfoot. Yeah, that's always a wonderful thing to talk about. Yeah, he's real. I believe he's real. I believe UFOs are real. What the heck, right? Anyway, so again, I want to thank Ray's Honey's on our website. Now, if you guys also, to remind you, we are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Archer, Twitter, Spotify, Speakler, Reverb Nation, StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube. The Glenn Larry Show is, of course, on all the different web pages I have. You can hear us live and the archives too. Yeah, the little archive thing going too. Well, so the last one I saw was the UFO that I have seen was the one that was in the sky, in the rocks, in the beautiful, beautiful starlights. And they were camouflaging themselves. Must have been the mothership. Now, don't be afraid to report these things now because it's come out. The government says, yeah, the UFOs, we don't know ours, we don't know what they are. They're from somewhere else. How will that change your religion or faith, or would it? Yeah. They haven't bothered us yet. We just see them. And there has been several ones that have crashed here, and you'll find out more and more have crashed here, and that's coming out. And so, yeah, but we haven't shot any down, I don't think. I hope not. Be that aggressive. They have not been aggressive to us yet. Although, are they a threat to our airspace? There have been some close calls. apparently, with the crafts with airlines. And yeah, so gosh, you just can't pick up the microphone and say, hey, you're in our airspace. No. So, but they're fast. And I mean, they've been chased by our jets and by all our stuff we have that would never catch us up with, by the way. They're always way ahead. And it's like the cat and mouse thing with these couple of Air Force guys up there when they're spotted those UFOs. But if you have a story, give me a call. If not, just sit back and listen and enjoy the show. And yeah, I'm going to get the number out. This guy does a better job.
To call UFO Talk Radio, the Glenn Larry Show, deep in the dark desert of Nevada, call 702-874-1114. North of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. West of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And south of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And east of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. First time callers, call 702-874-1114. And if you just want to talk to the Glenn Larry Show, call 702-874-1114.
Well, as I say, they are real. That lady sent me a email here, looking down at it, and she says she's out of North Carolina, and her son and herself had seen this UFO out there from their window of their car, and it seemed to follow them. And when it stopped, they pulled the car over, and it seemed to stop itself. That happens. I've heard that from many other folks that have told me certain stories about UFOs, especially truck drivers. And they see the gentlemen at night that drive, boy, I'll tell you, they see a lot of stuff. And do you report it? Try to. Yeah, I know it's hard. I saw this, but document it, send it to you, move on if you can. Let someone know. Take some pictures if you can. Yeah. Especially if you know where one lands. If you see one land, I want to know as much as possible. I had a gentleman from Pennsylvania that was on my show several times that had seen UFOs and actually saw it land, and had witnesses, and are finding other witnesses so they can get the story together. The more witnesses you have, the better off it is for you with your story. It's like anything, I guess. But if you see one, report one, and do not be afraid. Yeah, so I just get on that phone or use the internet and get a hold of. Move on. Let them know. Yeah. So that was my story. Do you have a story? Have you seen a UFO? Have you seen anything strange like that? If you do, you can give us a call. I'll give this number out again. If not, we're going to go into something else. Yes. But hear this out.
To call UFO Talk Radio, the Glenn Larry Show, deep in the dark desert of Nevada, call 702-874-1114. North of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. West of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And south of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And east of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. First time callers, call 702-874-1114. And if you just want to talk to the Glenn Larry Show, call 702-874-1114.
Now, how could you forget that? Yes. And while I was out and went to the beach, had a great time. My gosh, I with some friends that I went down to visit down there, and we had some pretty good spirits. I'm telling you. There was this moonshine that I frequently have with my buddy, and I'll tell you, it has a kicker. Yeah. Then we went down to we visited the VFW down there. That was a lot of fun. And then there are Eagles, great bunch of people, knew the area, welcome you in like you've been there for years. I mean, it blew me away. But we had a lot of fun, and they had a great band at the VFW. They're bluegrass guys, and I'll be telling you more about that if you go to countryvaultradio.com. We're gonna have that featured with the story about the band, and you'll enjoy that type of music. I'm mixing that whole thing up. We have olympiaradio.com, and we have, of course, countryvaultradio.com, and all the other stuff is the mothership, which is K-Ghost Radio, UFO Talk Radio, Area 51 Talk Radio, and K-Ghost, of course, and the Art Bell Tribute, and, of course, K-Ghost 101.3 FM and K-Ghost 1610 AM. That's on that also. Also on SoundCloud. Do you know that we're on that too? Yeah, interesting. Gosh. Well, the couple of days that I was gone, had a lot of mail. God, the thing was packed. And, of course, I got my letter from the president, stimulus thing, which I already had gotten. And I looked at the one I had gotten from the White House from our Mr. Trump, President Trump. And just interesting how the whole thing happens. Of course, as I'm watching TV on the air up there in Pennsylvania, a lot of commercials about the presidency. Yeah, what he's done, what have you. Yeah, it's interesting. TV's a little bit different over there. I noticed I saw some old advertising that I haven't seen out here for years. And that was interesting. They have a great weather channel over there too. But yeah, the weather wasn't that bad. I understand it's very hot and humid out there, and I miss that. And I won't be going that type of time of year for that to see my buddies out there now. But I will become like there's about right now, within this time of this month. So, but yeah, but a problem with Nevada, it gets hot. I mean, really hot. I mean, like 100, 113. That's as high as I've ever had it out here. And it's dry heat, though. It's a different type of hot. Now, you guys over there suffer with the humidity. I mean, it's just sticky and yeah, we don't have that. But I plan to come out there again and see you guys and have some fun out there again and maybe join some things myself. But yeah, I really enjoyed myself. I had a good time. And neat people, real neat people. Sincerely, I thank you for being so kind. And there are different type of folks out there. I'm not saying, see, the Western, this over here in Nevada area, it's everybody's from everywhere else. So I don't think there's a lot of trust going on. I don't know. I don't get it. But I've noticed the attitudes are a little bit different. And you pick that up wherever you go, people that you meet. And yeah, I think that's everywhere you go. But I kind of picked up on some pretty cool stuff, though. Seeing the green grass from the desert, from green back to the desert. Oh, yeah, a little depressing for me because I love green. Well, anyway, we'll get off that. Gosh. Anyway, all the letters and stuff I got, had all the stuff in the mail. No bills, but a lot of advertising for the summer stuff coming up, what have you. And we're going to rearrange the radio station, by the way, our studios. I'm always working on radio. I'm supposed to get some stuff from Joe real soon. And I know that hopefully the chief will get his little station going on down there. I don't know what he's going to call it. Firehouse Radio. I don't know what he has in mind, but it would be darn cool for him to do that. And so I hope that will happen soon. We had a neighbor that had stopped by and said that I'm going to have a kitten. No, not me personally, but they're going to give me a cat. And I get that cat within about 3.5 weeks to 4 weeks. Yeah, it's just a baby kitten. Yeah. So we'll have that new addition to the station. Caticle type of cat. It's got orange spots going down its back. It's black and white, and it's just a darling little thing. And I'm a cat lover too. I love dogs also. Been looking for a German Shepherd. Saw one advertised, and it's an adoption something, but it's quite a process to go through. They take a picture of your home. They want to make sure the dog's be comfortable, and it's safe, and you're going to be a good owner. I get that. But to adopt, that's interesting. It's and save a life, especially a nice dog like that. And any dogs or cat that you can save from being euthanized, please do so. If you can't take care of a dog and cat and you're stuck, go to the right places like Paul's, emergency for Paul's or whatever they have in your area for giving dogs and cats to a place that will take those dogs in, take care of those cats, and give them the right shots and make sure they're all right, and then we'll find homes for them. And that's what I'm going to do, is take those rescue animals, and they make the best pets anyway, don't they? I had a German Shepherd baby girl. She was the coolest dog, and she was so smart. And I mean, very smart, too smart. And she actually broke a window to get out, moved the metal mesh away, and it was drilled down on the outside cell there of the window, and bent it with her nose. She had all day to do it, of course, and she was out when I got home. Had the air conditioner on for her, just for her. And she did not want to be left alone. Anxiety problems, maybe, but what have you. But yeah, she had. Then she moved the glass back like I wouldn't even notice it. That's how smart she was. Crazy. And she would find escape routes everywhere. She knew how to do it. She was an escape artist. I mean, the best. And she would go down to the school. Should hear the alarm, the recess bell, what they call it. And she'd go down there and get hugs and loves from all the kids. Then she would go to the local tavern, which we have right down the street from me. It's called the Pioneer Saloon. I think I've talked to you guys about that, and that is haunted. Great place to go, great for food and whatever. I go there frequently. That's my little hangout, and meet a lot of people from all over the world, and give my cards out, of course. But Pioneer Saloon, great place. But she'd go down there and trot on down there, because that's where I found her. She walked down the street years ago. She came to me, and she remembers that's just where I found her. So she goes down there, and she get all the food and loving that she can get. And she'd go home and be behind the lock gates, what have you. And I pull up, and she'd come out there and stretch like she's been there all day long. I mean, she put on such an act, you would not believe it. That dog is such a cool dog. And then one New Year's Eve night, she had gotten hit by a car. That was kind of a bummer, big time. You ever heard of a broken heart? Yeah, well, that's what the doctor said that I had. And I had a stent put in. And it was, pretty bad. But God, they're just like family. And they are family. And it's the love that they get, which is so cool. And I know that Harvey has a little dog, a Cheney. And that dog is so cool. Doesn't like certain people, but it took to me. And cute dog. And yeah, he loves that dog too. I think it's wonderful. So with that, we've got 10 at the top of the hour. Okay. No stories yet about UFOs? Well, you've heard my other shows. If you go to archives and it lists all the different shows, and that's the shows you want to listen to when you got nothing else to do, or if I'm not on the air. And I notice that we are getting some numbers up here. I see that Canada's on the line. And we have Missouri, we have Tennessee, we have Washington State, we have Seattle, Portland. You see them out there. And on the radio side, I'm seeing England. I don't know what time it is over there. It must be either really early. Yeah, it must be. And oh gosh, yep. I can't see what that one is. Well, anyway, but the numbers are still coming. Thank you so much for listening, because this is a fun show and the lines are open. I'm going to give that number out again. Let's hopefully get somebody to give us a call. If not, we'll just chit chat with you and welcome you back to the show. And I was gone for about a week and a half, and I'm happy that you guys still hit the archives.
UFO Talk Radio, the Glenn Larry Show, deep in the dark desert of Nevada. Call 702-874-1114. North of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. West of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And south of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And east of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. First time callers, call 702-874-1114. And if you just want to talk to the Glenn Larry Show, call 702-874-1114.
Now, I want to remind you guys out there, if you want to, if you would, and if you're watching the show at this point, to get a free coffee mug, you need to email me. And you can email me at glennlarry51 at gmail.com. That's GLENNLARY 51 at gmail.com. To give me your information, I shall send you out that coffee cup. Yes, one per customer, as they would say, per email. Kind of a cool cup. I'll show you them too. Here, it's one here. You just got this type. See that? Okay, it's like a UFO sitting there, and they're talking to the guys. And then over here we got this other one. Is the UFO. See that? Okay. There you go. Yeah. I got pins in them and everything else, but you'll get one out of the box. So all you gotta do is just email it there. I'll take care of y'all. Yeah, I'm very proud of my fire shirt, by the way. Yeah. These guys in Avondale did such a great job, and how kind were they? Gosh, I'll tell you this year. I'm looking forward about going out there next year, maybe even sooner. We'll see what happens, but I got lots of things to do in the station. Gosh, we're doing a lot of new programming, and we have all these computers here. I've got at least 11 computers, and several on the stations, other stations I have, and but they have to be, you got to go through them, make sure they're running right, make sure the programming is all there, and you're changing, of course, your songs and stuff, and your bumpers and what have you. It takes time for that, yes. And I had to be very savvy about computers and the end of the radio side of that, because each one has a different program, and it's a radio software program. So it takes a lot to do that. I had to learn, and it was quite a curve. It was a big curve, but I did so. And you guys understand that. Us older folks sometimes just can't do computers, but I had to learn. Yeah, it's not impossible. And don't be afraid of computers, because if you guys out there listening are a little up in age here, maybe you're around the 60s, or maybe you still want to deal with the computers, but yeah, don't be afraid of them. All you have to do is just learn. It's a learning curve situation. They got a book called Computers for Dummies, or Dummies for Computers. I don't know, but it's a book out there, and that'll help you do what you got to do. And it works. Yeah. You can't really screw them up that bad. There's always places that can, open it up for you. I never had any problems like that, but software changes so much in this world of computers. Everything's changing, and there's something new out all the time, of course. Well, the reports have been coming in, and like I told you earlier, more UFOs all over the United States and the world. Just recently, apparently in England, that there was some type of a crash that has been reported, and I guess it's very odd how our military responds to those too, along with their Air Force, and somehow we're involved, and that's quite interesting, especially also in Canada when there's a crash or something like that, when the military is involved. Americans are always there. It's interesting. So they have a network. They have a plan, and that they've been through this before. There are several crashes, as you've read and know about. But they are prepared. I don't know what type of procedures they go through, or is there a book, or is there something that these folks are highly trained as a special division for cleanup? Maybe they call it. I don't know. Crash sites. I know at Roswell, boy, they swept that up really good. All those metal debris was vacuumed up with huge vacs. They got that debris up and didn't leave nothing left behind to see. Yeah, so many witnesses about Roswell, so many witnesses, and that's what the biggie, I guess. So, gosh, yeah, but so much has been reported lately, and it goes on and on and on and on, and it's getting better and better and better. And for those folks that don't believe, I mean, how could you not believe? Do you think we're the only folks in this universe? Come on, it's pretty big. It's huge. It's just you can't fathom how huge it is. And now they're finding new planets, even new galaxies, even. And if it is some way, if they travel through these portholes or black holes, whatever they're called, they appear, and all of a sudden they're in our airspace, in our world, our atmosphere. That's pretty crazy stuff, yeah. And but it's more and more being reported. Are they just want to be seen that, hey, we are really here? Are they just saying, just passing through? Are they getting something out of the earth for them to travel? Are they planning something? Gosh, I don't know. A lot to think about, huh? Remember, when you see a UFO, you report it. You tell someone, try to have a witness with you, get some pictures, and call MoveOn and let them know. It's very, very important. Why it's important? Because we need to know, the more proof we have of this, disclosure will have to happen sometime. And I don't know when it's going to happen, but when it does, but it's starting to maybe just giving us just a little bit, and then they just kind of shush. Nothing happens for a while, but sightings are still coming around. I think the answer that everybody would like to ask the government is, what is the plan? Is there a plan? Gosh, I don't know of anything. If they're from another world, they could just zap us away. They have not done that. So what's it all about? That's my big question. Why, who, how? What's the plan, Sam? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we'll be on next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, and we'll have our phones open for you guys. I'm going to just push this number out real fast. If we get a caller or not, fine, but at least you get the number. How could you forget that number? We do it over and over and over. Gosh, I'll tell you. Here we go. And my buddy. See you, Sam. Good to see you out there. Harvey, good to see you too.
To call UFO Talk Radio, the Glenn Larry Show, deep in the dark desert of Nevada, call 702-874-1114. North of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. West of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And south of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And east of the Rockies, call 702-874-4. First time callers, call 702-874-1114. And if you just want to talk to the Glenn Larry Show, call 702-874-1114.
That's what you gotta do. Just call the number. Normally we get a lot of calls. I've just been gone for a while, and I'm wondering if I'm going to be on or not. Yeah, Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you're over right now in like Pennsylvania, it's like going on 11 o'clock right now over there. So it is a time. As you can see my clock behind me, the Art Bell clock, as we call it, because Art had one in his studio, and I had to get one myself. They're expensive, about $485, but I had to have it for the studio. It's all good luck, all good stuff, good radio, good everything, good looks fine. Got a picture of Art up here also, and so kind of our guy. We call it the Bell Studio, the studio here. We're having fun. Hobby of radio is so much fun. Again, thank you so much, Avondale, Pennsylvania Fire Department over there, 23 Station 23. I thank you kindly. And our prayers are out to you guys. Stay safe and You guys are all pros and professionals, and to all you guys, thank you so much. And I wish you well. I wish you all will. Play well together, everybody, and have fun. I am Glenn Larry, and we will see you next Tuesday night. All right? You got it.